謎の解明は真実への扉を開く。
はい、先生。
With the Professor Layton series finally getting the revival it needs with the new game World of Steam, let's look back on the original trilogy and prequels to find out what I believe to be the most daunting enemy in the Layton series. There will be some spoilers for some of the games in this video, so please keep that in mind. And also, this is a joke video, though my choice for the video comes from one of my childhood trauma stories. Professor Layton always presents himself as the gentleman as he is, but early in the original trilogy, he surprised everybody with his unexpected talent of sword fighting. And each new game kept raising the stakes for Layton into the mysterious worlds and ever-challenging adversaries. But once the original trilogy wrapped up, the series shifted to a prequel arc that delved into Layton's backstory, where he turned into Indiana Jones, and I'm not even kidding, he was exploring dangerous ruins, and he basically turned into Superman fighting everything. And while the prequel's finale gave us a truly memorable antagonist and brought Layton's origins back all full circle, my personal favorite antagonist actually comes from an original trilogy, the second game, Diabolical Box. Alright, that's right. The biggest enemy in my eyes is Gregorio. Why, you may ask? It's because he has a wonky hand movement of a knight and 4 puzzles. Gregorio shows a chess puzzle called the Knight's Tour, and his first puzzle actually isn't that hard. All you need to know is how the knight moves, so you don't really need to know how to play chess. But let's ask the best chess player in the world how the knight moves.
Magnus, I bet you're really tired of getting a lot of really complicated chess questions, but I've been dying to ask you, how does the knight move?
That's a good question. It generally moves like an L, and sometimes in blitz games it can be very unpredictable.
Thank you, Magnus. Only you could answer my question.
All right, if there are...
The puzzle is just moving the knight to every single square on the board without overlapping. And you may notice that there is no undo button and only a restart button. So if you mess up, you're back at the start. To be honest, you can trial and error this first puzzle within a few minutes. You could be astute and notice that certain squares, like the corner, can only be accessed by 2 other squares. But I personally am a decent chess player when I was a kid and just trialed and errored. And you could use a hint. The first puzzle has the first few moves for you if you use the hint. But there are multiple solutions, and you will see why the hints suck later. Now here's the kicker. If you press on Gregorio again, you're going to get another puzzle that's harder. Now you're playing with the bigger board for Knight's Tour 2, and for this you still have no undo button, so you're just on your way trial and erroring. And in chess, you have the knight in the corner. It has only 2 places to go, as you can see in this image. Places around the edges, or just like adjacent to edges or corners, also have less than 8 possibilities to move. And if the knight is in the center, it will have full range of movement, having 8 places it can go to. So you can implement a strategy trying to go through all the corners and edges pretty quick. Once you completed this Knight's Tour 2, you can talk to Gregorio again and get Knight's Tour 3, this time on a 7x7 board. And at this point, you already know there's going to be a 4th one with the full chess size board of 8x8. Now, you may have noticed, even if you implement the strategy of hitting the edges and corners of the board pretty quickly, the knight is very unwieldy in a confined space. Here's a picture of a knight at the square with 0, and the image shows the minimum amount of moves required for a knight to land at a space. What stands out is trying to move a 2x2 spaces out. Even though it's somewhat close, it takes 4 moves for the knight to go 2 diagonally. So now your strategy of hitting all the corners and edges doesn't really work because you still need to leave a little bit of space for the knight to maneuver. Once you have solved the Knight's Tour 3, either by actually solving it or looking it up online, you're given one last chance to stop talking to Gregorio, but if you do, you're going to get Knight's Tour 4, the full board. If you use hints on any of the puzzles, it's useless. I'll put some of the hints up on the screen. One of the hints says the shogi knights are less flexible than Western chess knights. Nevertheless, the puzzle has 64 moves, and with no undo button, have fun solving. Now, the reason why I hate Gregorio is because when I was a child on a road trip, I booted up Diabolical Box and already solved Knight's Tour 1 and 2. I spent the whole card ride solving 3, and I miraculously solved Knight's Tour 4 without any external help. Here's the thing though, I forgot to save my game. I literally wasted a whole card trip trying to solve 3 and 4, and it's not memorizable. I can't do it on command again. That's literally my grudge against Gregorio. The whole Layton story is really good with many amazing antagonists, but I just hate Gregorio. He just takes the cake for having this hard puzzle. And yes, there are really hard puzzles such as Disappearing Act, where you jump over balls and that's super tedious, but at the same time, each level is given by separate NPCs. Gregorio always gives this Knight Enigma puzzle. So yeah, he sucks. If you're interested in more of Knight's Tour, there's a number file video which they gave how many different possibilities there are for a Knight's Tour, and the number is very astonishingly high, but it's still impossible to trial and error. Let's be real here. There are other chess problems in the Layton series, just like this N queens problem, where you put the amount of queens, as many queens as you can on a board where they're not attacking each other. This is way easier to trial and error, and it's also literally a leak code problem. So there you have it, the worst enemy in Layton, Gregorio.